Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
I've always told my children, when you learn from other people's mistakes, you don't have to make the same mistakes yourself. That's especially true with biblical characters' mistakes. And I believe that's why God included the good, the bad, and the ugly in the Bible, so we can learn from them. This week, we watched Lot, Abram's nephew, suffer the consequences of a mistake. In Genesis 13, when Abram gave him the choice of land, he chose the fertile Jordan plain and pitched his tent near Sodom, despite the exceeding wickedness of the people of that town. Instead of keeping his family separate from this wickedness, by Genesis 14, Lot lived in Sodom. At that point, Sodom was attacked, sacked, and looted, and carried away captive, Lot included. But when a survivor informed Abram, out of love for his nephew, he and his 318 warriors tracked them down and rescued not only Lot, but also the wicked people of Sodom, along with all their possessions. Isn't that a beautiful picture of what Jesus does for us? We sin, get ourselves mixed up in the wrong crowd, an ungodly lifestyle, someplace where we feel stuck and helpless. And when we're at our lowest, no matter how far down Jesus has to reach, no matter how long it takes, He offers us, and sometimes those with us, rescue and a second chance. No doubt Lot and the people of Sodom rejoiced all the way home. But had they learned their lesson? Only time would tell. Over a decade later, Lot and Sodom reappear in Abraham's story. In a visit with his friend Abraham, God reveals His plan. Because of Sodom and Gomorrah's wickedness, He would destroy them. Abraham's love for Lot led him to plead for the Lord to spare the city for the sake of those righteous ones living there. The Lord agreed, but He knew of the whole area only Lot was righteous. But what was Lot still doing there? Shouldn't he have taken advantage of this second chance and separated himself from the evil Sodomites? As an uncle of mine would always say, one would think. But no. When the Lord's angels arrived in Sodom, they found Lot sitting in the gate of Sodom. In ancient cities, business as well as court cases were held at the gate of the town. So we can infer that not only did Lot live in Sodom, perhaps because of his uncle rescuing them from captivity, Lot had become a leader, perhaps a judge or one of the king's advisors, but definitely some sort of bigwig. Again, God could have just allowed Lot to stay there and face judgment along with the city. But because of His mercy and His love for Abraham, the angels forced Lot and his family out of the city before bringing destruction on the plain. Lot received a third chance. Maybe God has rescued you from self-inflicted destruction. How have you taken advantage of your second chance, or maybe your third chance? What can you learn from Lot and his mistakes so you won't have to make the same ones?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.